Hello and welcome to Joe Loves Linux. Today I want to show you how to install and handle the Sparky Linux Minimal GUI ISO. In one of my last videos I showed you the minimal installation in the command line. The minimal GUI installation is much easier, but there are some differences between minimal GUI and minimal command line. With the minimal GUI you install OpenBox Window Manager. And after that, you install every desktop you like. If you install Sparky Minimal in the command line, you choose the desktop during installation. You find both ISOs on sparkylinux.org. And now let's start the installation. After booting the ISO, you will see this window. Now, default is Sparky Linux US English. If you want to install in another language, you find that here in More Languages, and here you can choose whatever language you like. But we want to install Sparky Linux in US English. This way you boot into a live system, and now you see OpenBox in all its glory, and here is the button for the installation. If you want to look around here in the live system, you can do that, so you can see if you like OpenBox or not. But we want to install Sparky right away. The reason why this is so easy is because this is the Calamares installer, and now we can install that. I live in Germany, so I choose Berlin, and I also need a German keyboard layout. Here is German. Next, erase disk, and here you can decide if you want swap or not, swap to file or no swap. Since this is a virtual machine, I don't need swap, but I would definitely recommend to install a swap file if you install that on a hard disk. So let's go to next. And here is my full name, it's Joe. And now let's choose a password and repeat the password. Very easy. You can choose if you want to log in automatically without asking for the password. I don't like that, but I want to use the same password for the administrator account. If you don't like that, you just uncheck this here, and then you can choose a password for the administrator account. But I want to have the same password, so I want to use a sudo. Next. Is all okay? Yes, it is. And now Sparky Linux installation process begins, and this takes a while, so I'll be back when this is finished. By the way, did you know that I wrote books about Linux? The first is Ubuntu 22.04, the quick guide for beginners, and the second is the Linux terminal, also a quick guide for beginners. So now this window tells us that all is done and we can restart the computer. Don't forget to unplug the stick. And now we are in Sparky Linux OpenBox. I like OpenBox very much, but we are here to see if we can install another desktop or another window manager. So let's start the control center here. And now you can see the Aptus App Center. Let's open this. We need a password. And now the package list is refreshing. In this window you can see there are some categories: accessories, desktops, development, internet, multimedia, graphics. We want to install a desktop. We open this, and now we have many desktops and window managers we can choose from. Here, for example, is the awesome window manager. This is really awesome, but we have Cinnamon, GNOME Shell, Mate, and here you see Trinity. But I have to say that I ran into some problems when I was trying to install a desktop environment. For example, Cinnamon was no problem, but GNOME Shell was a problem. It tells me that it's impossible to install the GNOME shell. I saw the same message when I tried to install Mate. I don't know why this is. I recommend to use the Synaptic Package Manager instead. You also need the password here. And this is a Synaptic Package Manager. And now we are searching for GNOME Desktop. And we scroll down here, and here we see Sparky Desktop GNOME Shell. And this is the GNOME Shell with a few goodies added by Sparky Linux. These goodies are only design goodies. For example, the Sparky Linux wallpaper. So you can install that without a problem. And here you see what you can type into the command line if you want to install a Sparky Desktop GNOME Shell in the terminal. Sparky Desktop GNOME Shell. Here you can see that. Synaptic Package Manager is a very good tool to install packages. If you want to install instead of that vanilla GNOME, you also find it here. Here it is called GNOME Shell. And this is without the Sparky Linux goodies. But let's go back to Aptus App Center because I find this very interesting. Even if you don't install your desktop here, it is very interesting because you find all the desktops and window managers you can choose from. And this is a really good overview. For example, you might not think about Trinity, or you might not think about Enlightenment or Lumina. Trinity, for example, is very lightweight and very nice. I saw that as default in Q4 OS, but I like it very much that it's also here. And I also like it very much that you can find all the window managers, for example, Awesome, BSPWM or i3 JAWS window manager. But now I want to talk a little bit about OpenBox. Let's install HTOP. And here you see why OpenBox is so fascinating. The RAM usage is 263 megs, and this is not much. Okay, I get it. Some people say that is not important anymore in modern times. But if you use an older computer or a weaker computer, this makes sense. And even if OpenBox is not very beautiful at first start, you can change that. I have always been a big fan of OpenBox. Please tell me in the comments if you're interested in a video about how to configure and work with OpenBox. Please don't forget to subscribe and to give me a like if you want to support my channel. Thank you very much and bye-bye.